Dev1ce and Astralis fans, rejoice. He's finally back. After re-signing to his former org back in October, Dev1ce has just played in his first 2 games after almost a year-long hiatus. The question is, how did he do? Now, if you haven't noticed on these Don't At Me's yet, the majority of my wardrobe consists of mostly hoodies and sweatshirts. And if you're like me, then you're in luck, because theScore Esports makes both. We got our minimalist esports crewneck along with our touch grass hoodie that, might I add, now comes in 2 new beautiful colorways. So if you are interested, then follow the link in the description to our store website and check our stuff out. Okay, so in case you missed everyone and their mother tweeting about it, Dev1ce is officially back playing CSGO. But to understand why this is important, I'll need to give you a quick rundown. Dev1ce played for Astralis for years, and they won 4 majors together along with countless other trophies. But in the online era, the team began to stagnate, causing Dev1ce and some other players to leave in search of greener pastures. However, NIP didn't end up being Dev1ce's dream team. After less than 6 months with them, he ended up putting himself on medical leave while struggling with mental health. But after nearly a year of radio silence and thus a metric shit ton of rumors, Dev1ce finally announced on October 27th that he was coming back to Astralis. And just this week, we got to see Dev1ce back in action at the beautifully titled Champion of Champions Tour North Europe Series 2 playoffs. But there is one giant question mark heading into the first map. Dev1ce hadn't played professionally in all of 2022. Did he still have that dog in him? Well, folks, I am happy to report that he most definitely still does.
6 rounds on T, but they do have the comfort of CT coming up next. And that's nice. But look at the time of Ready. They're going to have to act now, otherwise it's going to be too late. Dev1ce, what a 1D.
Very much like what Trick did to them last round. They're going to throw that smoke to funnel them out. Fully blind. Dev1ce is there to cover him. Dev1ce with the deagle, spam goes away, and he will secure 4 kills in this round.
Astralis defeated Tricked in a pretty convincing 2-0, and Dev1ce, he was at the top of the leaderboard with a 1.66 HLTV rating and a whopping 56 frags. But even more notably, Dev1ce just looked confident. He was taking opening duels, played aggressive positions, and to top it all off, his aim looked pretty crispy. Suffice it to say, he didn't look like someone who's only been grinding Face It for the last year. But that's not all. Glaive, who's been struggling recently, finally looked back on form.
Edging his way towards the edge of apartments. He's spotted by Glaive. He plays anti-flash. He's jumped out over Glaive's head, and it could be a 2K. The spray down from Glaive is lovely. Not the cleanest, but it gets the job done regardless. Sees the barrel of the AWP as well, and carries on standing around that. The thing, massive there from Glaive as Dev1ce chimes in for a double.
Glaive was once the greatest IGL in the world, so some people were even suggesting that maybe he needed his opping brother back to do what he does best. Now, with all that being said, this was against Tricked. No offense to them whatsoever, they played very well, but they're not exactly the most well-known team. But Astralis' next match was against Heat, the French roster that now boasts Jax, Body, and Afro. This was obviously going to be the bigger test for the reunited Astralis, and unfortunately, things didn't go all too well. Even with having a lead on each map, they absolutely fumbled it, resulting in overtime losses on both.
Now given a lot of time for Glaive to get into position, Body has been spotted. Reposition comes in, but Glaive tags him down even lower, just toying with him. Toying with the idea, but a big headshot. Body now in the 1v1. What's happening?
Now, despite the less than ideal outcome, Dev1ce still kind of popped off. His rating was a 1.27, and he got 69 kills across both maps. So I think it's completely fair to assume, at the very least, that Dev1ce is still pretty good at CSGO.
But now he needs Blame to hold for his short. Dev1ce can go for even more. Picks up Afro on the AWP. Blame is going to be forced off the angle. Dev1ce surely goes down. No! He actually turns around towards short. Picks up another one. They're just going to continue walking into him. The smoke is going to win him some more cover, and Dev1ce is back, baby. Gets a third. Blame is going to help him out for the final one. Astralis get onto 8.
Now, unfortunately for Glaive, he did not fare too well against Heat, so the verdict is still out on that previous hypothesis I mentioned. But at the end of the day, these were just 2 matches against lower tier teams. Plus, they didn't have Config in the lineup, so we're playing with a stand-in from the academy. Unfortunately for us, this was likely the last tournament for Astralis, so we're just gonna have to wait till next year to see what else happens. But that's also why I think it's relevant to talk about these 2 seemingly small matches. We haven't seen this guy play in a goddamn year, so I'm pretty hyped to see what he can do in 2023. Mornings are rough. I enjoy mornings. Mornings just don't enjoy me. I like mornings, like I'm not like upset, just my brain is not working. You know, people make fun of me for the way I say both, because theScore makes both on both. It's fucking disrespectful.